Over the last 10 years, UEL has invested over £170 million in our campuses at Docklands and Stratford. And we have a long distance from our Docklands campus and overlooked by the dramatic O2 Arena. Trinity Boy Wharf is a fascinating arts complex, and the synergies and opportunities for UEL there are really very exciting. So, we have ambitious plans for the future, as I'm sure do all of you. As Lord Rick said, I hope that each and every one of you, wherever your path now leads, will look back on your time here as a great learning experience. We hope your experience at UEL
will be read out before they cross the stage to be congratulated on my right, Chancellor, the Lord Ricks. It's now my very great pleasure to call on Dr. Mohammed Daswas, Dean of the school, to come to
Information Technology and Engineering. We will be introducing the graduates in order as it appears in your program. Though, of course, not all eligible graduates, particularly those from overseas and partner institutions, Angelina Akinjo. Muriel Andrew. Leslie Antonio. Mohsen Ayaz. Ludwig Fernandez. Rina Hakim. Emmanuel Ilsana. Margaret Paul. Reza Mirzabami. Abdullah Muhammad. Kabina Awari. Abdul Said. Ali Said. Maureen Porter. Frederick Mandat. And Nirujan Mubarakat. For the award of Bachelor of Science, Ordinary Business Information System, Antonio Adefeo. And Trong Jian Trong. David Allen. Robert Chiza. Muhammad Al-Rais. Ahmad Al-Nabil. Rajiv Amarullah. Nasser Farouk. For the conferment of Honorary Doctorate of Arts upon Mr. Sathi Ludhianvi. Sathi Ludhianvi is a well-known broadcaster, writer, and South Asian community in England and in India, and his contribution to current affairs is widespread at home and abroad. As the news editor on Sunrise Radio in 1990, Sathi presented the very first news bulletin broadcast in Punjabi to the UK and Europe. As a renowned writer in India and in the UK on current affairs, Sathi established a valued reputation at home and abroad as an important voice in mainstream politics involving South Asians. Born in the district of Jalandhar in 1941, Sathi grew up in Ludhiana, an industrial hub and the richest city in Punjab, a large state in the northwest of India. Even as a youth, Sathi showed the promise to come. In his poetry and prose, his appreciation and talent for literature, and his desire to question and debate where he saw injustice and inequality. From his earliest years, he wrote poetry and prose for the school and college magazines and Punjab's newspaper and magazines. Sathi's family ran a successful hosiery business, and he helped out by taking care of the organization's accounts. Sathi later graduated from the University of Punjab in Chandigarh with a diploma in accountancy. Arriving in Britain in 1962, a young man of 21, Sathi worked in a number of roles with the post office and went on to become a sub-postmaster. He owned and ran a chemist. He worked for British Airways as a capacity control officer in their cargo department, and for many years ran his own sport wholesale and retail outlet and stationery business. At the same time, he became closely involved in community affairs as a general secretary for the Progressive Writers Association, an organization based in Southall, West London, and he continued to write poetry and prose. Sathi now spends most of his time working as a broadcaster. He is currently a presenter for Let's Talk, a multilingual social and political discussion program on Kismet Radio, a sister radio station of the Sunrise Radio Network based in Southall. Sathi uses his multilingual skills of speaking Urdu, Hindi, Punjabi, and English as a broadcaster, primarily for the Indian and Pakistani communities in the UK and Europe. Sathi's programs have always dealt with groundbreaking cultural issues in current affairs, covering contemporary political issues in the UK and South Asia, such as race relations, women's rights, social cohesion, immigration, and even Bhangra music and its cultural influences. As part of his television broadcasting career, which also began at the same time, Sathi worked for a number of pioneering Asian programs that were starting to gain influence in the community in the 1990s. As well as being an author of several books, of articles, short stories and poems in Punjabi, Sathi is also a regular contributor to many newspapers and magazines, including in India for Prit Lari, a monthly magazine covering social affairs, newspapers Daily Ajit, and the Punjabi Tribune. In London, Sathi has been writing for the Southall-based Despardes, the most popular Punjabi weekly newspaper in Britain and Europe. Sathi's work has been studied by research and A-level students. Sathi has won several awards for his contribution to television and radio broadcasting. In 2007, he was presented an award by the House of Commons All-Party Parliamentary Group, Punjabis in Britain, by John MacDonald MP. He won the 2008 Media and Literature Award for Outstanding Services by Indian International Foundation, presented to him by the current Shadow Justice Secretary, Dominic Grieve MP. The Punjab government's Language Department presented him with the prestigious Sahit Sharamani Award for his contribution in writing and social issues. Sathi Ludhianvi, in recognition of your many contributions to broadcasting and journalism and your outstanding service to championing human rights, it gives me the greatest pleasure to ask the Chancellor to confer on you the award of Doctor of Arts, honoris causa.
By virtue of the powers vested me as Chancellor, I hereby confer on you, Sathi Ludhianvi, the award of Doctor of Arts at the University of East London, honoris causa.
I think it's my grandson. Dear Lordship, Lord Riggs, the Chancellor, Professor Susan Price, Acting Vice Chancellor, all the students and other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I feel extremely honored and privileged to be standing here among you as a recipient of an honorary doctorate of Arts Award of the University of East London. I am humbled, but with this award, I feel more responsible to make this world better in my own small way. It is a long way from me arriving at Heathrow Airport 47 years ago as a young man with a dream to make my and my family's life better. My objective was also to do something for my community and work for the country I was about to make my home. I will never forget what the English taxi driver said to me when he was taking me from Heathrow to Southall in 1962. Never trust the 3 W's, young man: work, weather, and women. But in 2009, I must be politically correct and say he was only right about the first 2 W's. Upon arrival, I began to write extensively. Later, I extended my message through the medium of radio, which included hosting a multilingual socio-political radio discussion program, first on Sunrise Radio and then on Kismet Radio, London. I joined Sunrise Radio Network in the early 90s. I also brought up the issues which I felt were relevant to the British Asian community on television. People coming from abroad can be resented or considered a threat, particularly in those early days. My stand was to tell the people of Asian origin to fight the menace of racism and at the same time to be faithful to the adopted country. The newcomers also needed to be shown in a positive light. It is evident that the immigrants are genuinely making a vast and priceless contribution to the welfare of Britain. The broad diversity needs to be celebrated. Thanks to the efforts of various communities, including the indigenous population, and raising public awareness via anti-discrimination legislation passed by successive governments, British people are now the most tolerant, understanding and richly diverse in the Western Hemisphere. It is my objective that our country, Great Britain, should become even greater. For that purpose, we all must live in harmony and create an atmosphere of cohesion, understanding, and peaceful coexistence. In my radio programs, I discussed many social-political issues such as illegal immigration, race relations, mainstream politics and Asians, success of Asian businessmen and entrepreneurs, honor killing and forced marriages, the condition of old age Asians, divorces and disintegration of joint family system, popularity of Bhangra music and Indian food, Asian women's rights in Britain, female infanticide in India and abroad. Are faith schools divisive? Does multicultural concept work? Are Asians doing enough voluntary work? Do they carry kidney and blood donor card? Does the political situation in India and Pakistan influence the psyche of Asians living in the United Kingdom? These are the kind of topics I raised in my news and current affairs discussion programs. It was President John F. Kennedy who said, "Our progress as a nation can be no swifter than our progress in education." I would say that the people in the business of education are the true saviors of our world. Education is the true and appropriate path to the progress of mankind. Institutions like University of East London are the major contributors to this cause. Institutions like University of East London are the major contributors to this cause. Britain is the champion of liberty, but to safeguard this liberty, as Edward Abbott said, education is a must. I salute the people who impart wisdom to their students. On the wider spectrum, we must all endeavor to make this world safer and this planet environmentally friendly. After all, we share the same planet. The achievements and contributions of the University of East London need to be applauded. This university is based in an area of London which needed to be educationally and economically regenerated and developed. It provides an opportunity for the local communities from different backgrounds and small businesses to develop and flourish. This university will be under international spotlight in 2012 when the Olympic Games will be held in this part of the world. The UEL's long history inspires innovation in education. It has students from diverse walks of life, thus making it a truly universal and global entity. I would like to thank my family and especially my wife Yash for their I would like to